As you can see, there's a fair bit of green in it. The green is algae, moss, other potentially juicy items in here. Let's go ahead and identify what all's in here today, chat. Give baby a Luna loves. Oh yes, Crux. That is the prediction today. I'll let y'all bet some channel points on the prediction, because she's been visiting some of these days. Let me go ahead and set up this prediction. Will baby Alona make an appearance tonight? The answer you can have is very simple: yes or no. And we'll do 20 minutes. Y'all can predict for 20 minutes if baby Alona is gonna make an appearance today. It could be any time during the stream. Anytime during the stream, she can make an appearance, and then that will count as a yes. Alrighty. Good sign with the... Golganak, it really is, right? It's gonna be... It's a little bit hard to see, but... Dame Karen, the closed caption with your name usually stars it out. So if we're talking about closed caption being silly, it really does not like your name, Dame Karen. Don't tease. I have to, Dame Karen. How else am I going to keep you here? How else are we going to keep you here? I'm also gonna grab some these grasses here. Oh, the rude closed. I know. Listen, Dame Karen. I don't know what to tell you. The closed caption is just stars out your name. I think it thinks it's a naughty word. You forget all the time I was here for my... No, I remember Dame Karen. You're just waiting for the baby. Oh, there's already something really cool that I can see by eye in here. What is it? No idea. But it looks really cool. Something heavily zipping on there.
Gucci.
That was Yogurt Girl's Gucci. And chat, if y'all like the Gucci redemption, there are new ones coming soon that I'm gonna need some vocals for if y'all are interested. We're planning on 2...
Gucci!
That's Callie! We're planning on 2 new animations that require some... We'll ask for some audience participation, as it were. Okay, let me quickly put these back. Ah, thank you, Mike. We had to nerf one of our lovely... Actually, Debs, I have a surprise for you. Chat, before we start looking, did you know that we have a YouTube page? Did you know that if you type !YT, it'll bring up that YouTube, and also that little animation for you now as well. Look at that. Look at that, chat. We even have a little animation to advertise the YouTubes, as it were. Look at that. Alrighty, folks, let's begin. Let us begin. We have a treat already. There it is. And I think we're going to take off the auto exposure. I'm just going to have to manually mess with it. There it is. It's wiggling on around. Hi, AZ. AZ, how are you doing today? AZ, we're doing some pond water microscopy, and there's a ton of little critters already in here. We also have the stream scribe, aka Carlo, above my head doing live letter art. And AZ, I'm chasing this. There it is. So Smikes, you are correct. This is not your typical nematode that we're seeing here. Nematodes have far more of a pointy body. And this one is very sleek, but it is not pointed at either tip. I'm just trying to refine it. It keeps swimming quite... There it is. The swimming motion is far too directed. It's a great time to take an image. There we go. So you can see some of its internal anatomy. But here, see here's the tail tip. And then all the way at the front. Actually didn't even get its head into frame. Let's see if we can. Guys, also, if you're not already checking out AZ Pinoy, please go follow AZ Pinoy, legendary Lego streamer, Gundam streamer, and occasional Destiny streamer extraordinaire. Please follow AZ Pinoy. He's on that partner push. I'll give him that follow, chat. So this little creature right here. Again, you see its fast and rapid motion. There it is again. The internal anatomy is also a little bit too dark for it to be our usual nematode. However, we can't rule out that it's not a close relative. It looks a little almost like a trypanosome as well. Trypanosomes are close relatives of nematodes, and they're parasitic. This does look similar to what I've seen as a trypanosome back when I was in undergrad. We actually worked with trypanosomes and infected fruit flies with them. The idea being that trypanosomes can also cause things like African sleeping sickness. And so if you were able to have a model of and being able to study them in the lab, you might be able to come up with cures and treatments against trypanosomes. What did I have for lunch? Oh, Gwen, I had a diet bar. What did you have for lunch, Gwendolyn P? Ken Seth, thank you for the follow, Ken. How you doing, Ken? And my goodness, we've got a raid in 3. And we're trying to identify and find little critters. And there is a spider in here, amongst other things. There's 2 krill as well. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get them in frame, because they are zipping around like there's no tomorrow. Which, by the way, folks, there will be a tomorrow for them. They are taken right back to the lake after, like tomorrow, after the today. You know, the stream's over today. They're taken back tomorrow, back to the pond. So they get to live another day. It's not. We don't do crazy stuff here. But I'm just looking for and trying to find. There were some of our little crawfish swimming around. And a spider. I think what we might have to do.
Life finds a way.
Indeed, astronomy show. Astronomy, there was the spider. I don't know if we'll be able to capture. See it, y'all. It just zips right across the screen, and it's just been actively running around. The two krill. There's one. See, we're just chasing him. I'm not sure, y'all. Like, we didn't get any of these last year. It's interesting that all of a sudden we're getting them almost weekly. There we go. We caught an image. We caught an image of it. Also, y'all, the 30 minutes are up. So I am going to take off the ferret onesie now. Woo! It's a little warm in this chat. Not gonna lie. Luckily, we have air conditioning, but my goodness gracious, chat. Thank y'all again for that, too. Good image. Andrew, see, the thing is, when you turn up the exposure, so that's the light source for the camera, it slows everything down. And so we don't have it high right now, relatively speaking, but it's high enough where it's also slowing down the feed. So that can be corrected in a couple of different ways. Easiest if we just turn down the gain, right? But then the brightness is an issue. So we'll want to make sure we don't have to deal with that much of the brightness. And hold on, y'all. Let me quickly save this. The other one, Andrew, is if we have a faster camera, take faster images, and then it can usually combat the imaging a little bit better. This is the stereo. Oh. This is the stereoscope. The compound was right there. Sense of Decay, thank you for contributing to our throne page for the Nikon adapter. Thank you so much, Sense of Decay. That's one thing that we're trying to do is there exists the possibility of getting a Nikon adapter for this camera. And that would hopefully be able to make it a little bit easier for us to see things. Thank you so much, Sense of Decay, for that. Claire has sent us something. Let's pull up what she sent us. Andrew, if I weren't more controlled, I would laugh. By the way. Oh, why is it not working? There we go. Thank you so much, Claire Burr. Thank you, Claire, for the happy birthday. I like the cake, Claire. I very much like the cake. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Claire, for that. Appreciate you, ma'am. The hat is also super cutie patootie. I mean, as is the ant, but I also just... The cake, I like that there's... One is off at a little angle. Oh, that's why it looks familiar. Very nice, Claire. Hi, Moo Hoodles. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Moo. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Moo Hoodles. Seemed appropriate. Thank you so much, Sense of Decay. Sense, I know a lot of the things on there are a bit hilarious in terms of price, but it's just like the microscope stuff is a little bit rafflecopter in terms of affordability. So we put on that goal of trying to get the microscope adapter and trying to get, because then I have the Nikon to go with it, and hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to use. Because if we can get the Nikon, see, here's the thing that's upsetting though, Sense, is that the Nikon doesn't work with this software, because then you don't have to buy their proprietary camera, but the Nikon res is so much better that my hope is that we'll be able to funnel in like a particular feed into OBS, like a live feed from the camera, and then just get a really high res image and see things a lot clearer, at least if nothing else in the amber, which would be lovely. Guys, go check out Moo Hoodles also. Moo Hoodles, science, astrobiologist extraordinaire, and gamer too. Go check out Moo Hoodles, y'all. Okay, let's see what we can find else in this pond water. We're going to go back to that well in a little bit because I feel like there should be more creatures and like they should be a little bit calmer if we wait a little while. We do have, y'all, some of our ostracods in here. Gwen, that is the most cursed emote. And Gwen, you'll be so proud of me. The other day I spent channel points in Moo's stream to unlock it just so I can use it. I didn't even know what I was thinking, Gwen. I think I was just like wanting to support Moo by spamming the cursed emote. And Moo was like, "Are you alright?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. Fine." Chat, we do have some ostracods in here. See, there's a bunch of them swimming around in the higher levels of the water, and they're just swimming too fast for us to be able to get a good image of, or even get them in the right focal plane. But we're seeing some of the little ones, smaller ones here, just stay put for a couple of minutes, like a couple of seconds before they continue to zip along. So it's kind of cool to see that. Now then, this. Let's see what we're able to do here. Risto, thank you for Lord returning to Thank you so much, Risto. Risto, have a great appointment, my friend. I hope all goes well. Love your face, Risto. Alright, so I soaked this piece of moss for a little bit. We'll see if it translates to anything, but usually we've been able to get some life from soaking the mosses. Looks like we do have a couple of smaller life forms in here. But of course, 0% of the tardigrades that we were looking for. We have a relative of... I'm going to just bring back some of those lights here. We do have a relative of the Planarians in here. Oh yeah, Carlo's super flexing his muscles on this one, Andrew. He's crushing it. As he always does, though, Andrew. There we go. That we believe. Get a grip! Oh my goodness! Thank you for the tier 1 gift sub to Trissy. Thank you, Get a grip. Welcome on in. How are you doing today? And hello, Grimly. Grimly, how are you, good sir? Grimly, we're looking up. Obviously, I want to find some tardigrades.
Be excellent to each other.
But the best so far is that we have, in the sample with the mosses, there's this Planarian relative right here that's zipping on around. Grimly, I hope you had a great day. We're also going to be tonight, remember, raffling off the Avengers Hard Enamel Pin. Thank you, Get a Grip. Happy birthday support from the sewer. Thank you so much, Get a Grip. Is that being sent from Neuralicia? I assume it's that sewer. Y'all, that is nothing bad. It's just Neuralicia's colony is called the sewer. Well, y'all, this is marginally disappointing so far today. In the mosses, we're seeing some stuff zip around, but I think what we might have to do later is do another batch of the pond water. Because this is kind of... We're seeing minimal activity in here. Do have some more ostracods in here. Becca, thank you for this stretch. I'll stretch in just one moment. There we go. There's some feeding. There are a bunch in the moss and the seaweed, but I'm trying to find other examples in here of these creatures, and we're been kind of limited on what we're seeing. There again is that relative of the Planarian. Remember last summer we did find Planarians in this pond water, which was a really fun one to have. Hi, 29 Fireflies. Welcome in. Guys, go check out 29 Fireflies. 29, how's the little one? How's the new baby, 29? Yeah, maker and crafter extraordinaire. Please go check out 29 Fireflies. Just had a kiddo as well. Very much around the same time that we did. Hi, Dacum. Thank you, Dacum. Dacum, how are you doing, ma'am? Ilona's doing well. She just turned 4 months last week. She went to the doctor's office and they had to weigh her twice. Because they were like, certainly she has not grown this much. And she had. So she is... We're not overfeeding her, but she is growing. She may or may not be making an appearance tonight, 29. There was a prediction earlier. And folks seem to think she might make an appearance tonight. So we'll see. Right now we're looking, 29, at some of these ostracods here. Zipping on around. A lot of them have been just... we had a whole bunch of moss in here. And they were just like feeding on the mosses. But this one's really cool. You can see the antennal structures and how they're really fuzzy and spread out. They almost look like eyelashes with their complexity. See, like there's a mass of these extra hairs shooting from the animal. That extra spread of the antenna is usually indicative of there being additional receptors and having like just a very more potent olfactory ability there. So they're very much driven by smell. You can see it with that mass of like just very eyelash-like on their antenna. Such a cutie. Seemed to find her Phoebe babies. They really are at 29. She yesterday, the day before, somewhere around there, just started babbling. She just goes meow 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 meow, and there's just today 29. I was in the midst of a meeting because she's with me during the workday, and it was like a big grant meeting, and I guess she disagreed with what someone started saying because she was just going meow 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 meow, and I was just like, no, little baby Alona. Like I had my volume muted, right? But she had opinions. She had opinions, man, and they were very valid opinions. All right, let's see. So here, this thing.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Bits Gamey. Did you use the BRB earlier, Bit Gamey? Would have gotten the grant if the mic was on? I mean, listen, she knows her stuff. She's been at this internship position since a few days after she was born. All right, Cliff. Cliff, help us on this nightmare fuel. That, to me, looks like a spooter. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have a spooter. It's some flavor of spooter, Cliff. Yeah, doesn't it have, it looks like heart eyes? It, astronomy show that might be a... Actually, I don't know how much of that is just the pixelation of it, but it does kind of look like heart. It is... Cliff, let me manually look. Cliff, it is just on the surface. It is just on the surface of the water, Cliff Alistair McLean. It does look like, again, some flavor of spider, though. Golganak, right? The body coloration is really weird. Sometimes Golganak, what this means is that that's different tissues. Water mite, okay. Let me turn up the gain just a little bit on here. So Golganak, what is cool about this is that we can actually see the internal organs, especially if we turn up the gain a little bit. The white Golganak is usually a sign of fat body. So fat body tissue, or the adipose cells, usually don't come through like as transparent. They come through as a little bit more of this like opaque shower curtain white almost. Hi Platinum. Platinum, how you doing today, Platinum? Platinum, we just found let's see, what might be a water mite. Thank you, Cliff. Let's see. This one does look similar. Here we go. This one actually is... Oh, really? Come on. It doesn't want to show me the image. Hold on. Open image. Here we go. This one, Cliff, I think... Not quite the same, but it does have that T in there that Golganak pointed out. And then it also has even the heart-shaped eyes astronomy show you can see there. Hi, Mum for the win. Mum for the win, how are you doing today? Mom, we are doing a... Well, it's my birthday today, so it's a little bit of a birthday stream. But also Microscopy Monday. And we just found what is a water flea. So here's the creature that we found. And then here is a comparison of one that we found online. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Oh, sorry, water mite. That's right, Cliff. I apologize. Water mite. Water mite. Ooh, these are beautiful, Cliff. That is some beautiful species variety. Speaking of species, folks, if you're not already checking out our friend, the amazing, the breathtaking California Burbs, someone else to go follow, California Burbs. Dacum and I frequent there all the time. They even have goats now. They're not even called California goats. It's called California Burbs. There are goats there. Dacum, there were some today as well, and we saw some yesterday when you messaged, but also saw some today, and that was really cool to be able to hang out with. Yeah, this water mite, I think, especially with this like internal structure here, they're quite beautiful. Ours, let's see, let me make sure this is a live view. All right, here, yep, we're in the live view. You can see the, whoa! Big Gamey, thank you for the 100 biddies, Big Gamey. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today. Thank you so much. Sir, thank you very much, Big Gamey. Big Gamey, I have, Lita did get me a birthday cake. She was at her mom's, oh, look at that. Look. The internal organs are moving. We got to record this. Look. The internal organs are moving. Chat, check that out. Check that out. Look. We've got some digestion going. Look at that. I am getting a recording of this. That I think is really, really cool. Hi, Josie. Thank you so much, Josie. How you doing? What do they eat? So, because they're mites, they eat one of two things. They're either parasitic, or they eat, like, rotting food. They're in, like, this marshy lake area. So, that froze for a second there. They're in a marshy lake area, and so they're probably eating decaying grasses and matter like that. The parasitic ones... It's hard to tell by eye which species they are. Steggy Music! Hello, Steggy Music. Welcome in. How are you doing, Steggy? We're doing alright. We just found a water mite in our pond samples, and we're just looking at them, and it's cool. You can see the internal organs right now are moving. Check that out. You can see right along here on this side, they're moving back and forth. And it's silly, but I'm like, oh, it's so cool to be able to see something like this under a microscope. And we also have Carlo, the stream scribe, but doing live letter art above my head, and he is absolutely crushing it. That's like the ultimate scriboscopy union right there. Because it's SciAnts and Scribe, and we both stream. And You know, stream, scribe, SciAnts streams, all of it. A mighty mite that eats mites. So Hugh, it's a really small one. So my assumption is it probably doesn't feed on other mites, whether it be opportunistic or not. The parasitic mites are, again, visually very difficult to tell apart from the non-parasitic mites. There are some... like, that attack fruit flies. That's how I'm very much, unfortunately, aware of mites. Where if they're parasitic, you see the fitness of the fruit flies being diminished very rapidly. And in fact, we need to give them antibiotics, and you need to move the flies in new vials every single day in order to try to get them to survive. And it is a huge pain in the butt to be able to do. Thank you, Hugh, for the birthday wishes. Hello, TMK. Welcome on in, TMKTD. DK, welcome in. So it's... they can destroy lab stocks. These mites can. Even the food mites the food mites aren't parasitic. Oh yeah, Mom. When they're on the fruit fly, imagine it just looks like a dot on. Oh, it's gone. It looks like a dot on the fruit fly, and you can't see it with the naked eye. You have to see do it under a microscope, and they suck the blood or the insect hemolymph from the fruit fly. And it can wipe out your entire colonies, and especially if that's what you're researching with, you can't have it be, being killed left, right, and center because of it, right? So it's frustrating to have, but there's also food mites, Mom, and those are also really small, but those feed on the fruit fly's food, and when those feed, you also want to get rid of them. Jayden, we're a little bit too early. You want to get rid of them because if you don't, what ends up happening is that they also end up falling, like, the flies are competing for food with the mites, and if your flies are at all sickly, they just end up dying, and you lose that colony as well. So you have to be very, very careful with them. Let's see who else is in here. So what we're doing now is we're looking at these little marshy grasses. Zoom out a little bit here, y'all. Y'all can see a little bit better. We see some more ostracods up at the top, zipping around. They're just feeding on it. Oh yeah, Carlo's just crushing it, Dacum. But Dacum, remember, if we call Carlo, we must roll our R's. And actually, Risto rolled his R's beautifully the other day, Dacum. He went, Carlo! On his stream. And it was beautiful, Dacum. It's done! Scriboscopy, look at that. Carlo, that is beautiful, sir. That is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Carlo, I will please to have a copy of that, good sir. I would love to have a copy of that. It is beautiful. Is very beautiful, Carlo. I love that. That's our weekly collab. Carlo, the beauty of his heart, he comes on here and does live letter art while we're looking at stuff under the microscope, and he has not yet gotten bored of us. So he comes and hangs with us. Thank you, Carlo, for always being here, my good sir. I'm gonna move around here the sample. See, positive you do. Rastigo Mike, have you sent me your mailing address? Rastigo Mike, please send me that mailing address. He has not yet sent me that mailing address, folks. Oh, Rastigo Mike. We cannot depend on my memory to keep asking you. Because I have too much dad brain. Too much dad brain. We had a good day. Hugh, it's been a frustrating day. Dealing with grant stuff is always frustrating, and so, but I'm here now, and now I'm having fun hanging out with y'all and just enjoying some microscopy, some live animals, Carlo being magical as always, and yeah, it's been good so far. I would like for us to find you a tardigrade. We do have here a Planarian relative. See, there they are. They are just zipping around. It is, yes, it is the birth. I'm not frustrated about my birthday. My coworker was like, "Why didn't you take today off?" I'm like, "Because we have a big grant meeting. I can't be taking today off for a big grant meeting." She's like, "Well, you should think about it. Magical meat. No, Carlo, I am going to nerf you, sir, so hard." Just like that, Carlo. Just like that. Guys, another more shout out. We also had the lovely Neuralicia in here. Go drop her a follow.
Gucci.
Whoa! That was a silly one. That was a silly Gucci right there. Guys, go check out Neuralicia. Science communicator extraordinaire. Neuroscientist.
Gucci.
Go check out Neuralicia. Why is Jeffrey relation so lumpy? So, Golganak, it's a different life strategy. Being so... The lumps, those internal lumps, are actually more split points. So they split more readily, but they're also less directed in their movement. So we think it's a more ancient evolutionary level. Like, this is like the less quote-unquote evolved specimen, and then it gets more and more specialized. Because you'll notice in the very poor image that we have Golganak, there's no eye spots here. And the lack of eye spots, those proto-eye spots are more along, as we move along a little bit more in evolutionary time, those come into play. Does that make sense, Golganak? Tomorrow? Oh, I think I have... No, there's a big staff meeting tomorrow. Is it top lit? Oh, so Ken, we have 2 overhead lights, and the exposure's at a fairly low level right now. We do have underlights as well, but I put in a black background, Ken, so the black background is better contrast for these kinds of images. But nothing yet. Let's see, we're just zipping on around. I'm going to search by eye really quickly as well. Yeah, Platinum, if you had the there, and there's the lumpy again, Golganak. If you up measured like how quickly they move comparatively, you would, like, if you like compared to a human size organism, if that's the size that these animals were, they would be zipping around redonkulously fast. And even at this eye level, they're pretty fast too. There's no cartilage or bones really weighing them down. They've got some chitin if they're of the insect variety. I think the ostracods exterior are also made of chitin for the exoskeleton. That's pretty standard in that realm. And that's pretty light because it's the same material that, you know, fruit flies and other insects are made out of, allowing them to encase their bodies and protect them, but also give them the ability to fly. So it can't be very heavy. Yeah, and Ken, 2 of the lights, see, I'm moving them around, so we can do different levels, and then I have the exposure level as well, so I can manually adjust the lighting too. I tried, Ken, at one point to have the clear background for these, but it was very difficult to make anything out with the clear background, especially with some of our transparent little animals. For example, this right here is something. I do not know what this is, but it does seem to have some flavor of directed movement. And maybe it's just is dividing. Again, I cannot make that out on what exactly this is. But it's moving enough to where that is something. Learned so much when we watch. Aw, I'm so glad, Mom. Mom, please ask any questions as well. Worst case, I can't answer them. We do have a couple of pond water experts in the chat, like Cliff House from McLean is one of our super experts. We had a couple of others as well that sometimes are here, sometimes aren't. But yeah, Elfie Bean. Hi, Elf. Elf, I'm so sorry the command doesn't work if there's other text after it, which is me being a silly pants. Guys, go check out Elfie Bean, legendary artist extraordinaire. Also game developer, game jammer, gamer. And one of our... Hold on, I won't say it. I'll let the Redeem say it.
My best friend.
One of our best friends is Elfie Bean. Love you, Alpha Bean. Young Panda Crafts. Hello, Young Panda Crafts. Look at what that little dancing chicken emote. That dancing chicken emote. So yeah, this is some flavor of blob. I don't fully know what this is. It's there's not really any structure at this stage to really make it out. Maybe so, Cliff. I'm not sure. I just can't really see anything structurally there, but it is moving enough to where I think there's something to it. Pants? Hit it, Bit Gamey.
I like your pants around your pants.
Elf, it has been a frustrating day with work stuff, but it's good now because we're here, we're having fun, we're doing some microscopy. We got Carl, the stream scribe, here, we got all the friendos here, and we're just nerding out on some science. And so any day where we're doing that, everything gets better. Lita snuck out and she got me a birthday cake too, so we're gonna have some kind of birthday cake there. He only likes your pants. I know, Ben. I know. I'm sorry. I feel like I see it. Rastinger, right?
I like your pants around
Pootrick!
your pants.
Hi, Pootrick. Pootrick, welcome on in, Pootrick. How you doing, Pootrick? Relation has more planned. Exactly.
I like your pants around your pants.
Guys, do y'all know who that legend is that sings pants around your pants? Do y'all know who sings that? No! That is our amazing friend.
I like your pants around your pants.
That's Plain Old Trey. Please go follow Plain Old Trey. One time recently we raided over and
Gee, bless you.
Smikes goes, no! Why are the eyes red? And Trey didn't realize it was about Link. He's like, because and Smike's like, no, I meant the Link. And he's like, oh yeah, it's a costume. It's a costume. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So Pootrick, we're looking at this microorganism. It looks like it's in a developmental stage of something. It's actively moving and having some kind of directed movement and like internal something or another. But I paused the camera on it because I thought it looked kind of cool. It might be a spaghetti monster. Cliff is a little bit of an expert on this, so if Cliff says spaghetti monster, I want to understand by it. We also have Pootrick, Cliff House, stream scribe above my head doing letter art. Welcome back, Ariella. Welcome back, Ariella. Ariella, we don't know what this is.
I like your pants around your pants.
Thank you, Smikes. Mom, it is stunning writing. No! Thank you, Smikes. Smikes, did you see the new command for the YouTube? We even have a little animation now for the YouTube. If you type !YT, you can trigger the YouTube. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa! And it also highlights the YouTube link. Click subscribe. Yeah, Ariella, this little microorganism here, I don't know if it's an egg or not. It looks like, I agree with Rastigo, that center part. So Rastigo, this is already multicellular. So we can barely tell it, but all those little shimmers in there are individual cells. So we do have multiple cells in here. Otherwise, I would agree with you. If it was one cell, the density of that yellow in there would be the nucleus. But given what it looks like, that it's multicellular, so it's probably multinucleated, that yellow is most likely fat tissue, or some kind of yolk, or some kind of gut that it's been eating. Those are usually what the discolored things are. That's even true, Rastigo, if we open up like fruit fly gut, other larval gut of insects, what have you, it always spouts this like discolored style of goop. Again, it's not confirmed that's what it is. It's just a suspicion I have. We also have some other things zipping on around here. We have our ostracods, but there was some other larger creatures I saw zipping. So let's see what we can find. An active pond? It is, yeah, Quoth. We got some really good samples today. The Hippotrics look similar, and they are protozoan. They just have bubbly structures inside. Let's pull it back up again, Cliff. Oh, here's also, wait, here's Golganak's friend. There we go. This is the Planarian relative right there. Zipping on along. Hi, Kithfish! Missed the start of the stream. It was working. How you doing, Kith? How you doing, Kith? Kith, this pond water came from the nearby pond. I actually think, Kith, you've walked with us around there, have you not? I'm pretty sure you have. So it's... Have I told him? No, you must have. You must have walked around it with us. Where we've walked around before together. How you doing, by the way, Kith? How you doing? Welcome on in. A face stream the other day, and a flatworm ate a big old microorganism that was half the flatworm size, so it was chunky boy for a bit. Decided it was a mistake and vomited the organism. A few minutes later, it was a wild ride. Ariella, we've had a wild ride before when we had a bunch of planarians, and we fed them because they like to eat liver, and we saw just like a massive feeding frenzy occur, and you saw like their mouth parts coming out, and that was all kinds of horrifying, but also all kinds of cool. All right, let's and we're definitely going to look at an additional water sample, y'all, because this has been, you know, we've seen some cool things. But I'm a smidge disappointed about the diversity of creatures that we've been finding today. So here are some young ostracods on the top of the water there. Hi, Yogurt Garrel. Yogurt, how are you doing, ma'am? Whoa. Hey, Yogurt Garrel.
Curiouser and curiouser.
A clip of it? Nice, Ariella. I'll have to check back out. Stem cells, most likely they're concentrated in each lump. Yeah, Golganak. Guys, go check out Yogurt Garrel, legendary Tetris99 streamer extraordinaire. On top of that, she also is a supermodel across the country of Canada. She is on billboards. She is all over the place in Canada. Make sure you go follow the lovely Yogurt Garrel. If not, you'll be very disappointed in not only yourself, but also just who you've become if you don't follow her. I once used someone who didn't follow her, and then when they came to her...
So if you're not following science streams, then you have got to change that. You gotta go follow, and you be rearranging your day around the dopest streams ever. There's music, and there's art, and there's science facts. What else do you need for your heart?
That but Yogurt Garrel. That but Yogurt Garrel, chat. Please go follow Yogurt Garrel. That song is far more true for Yogurt. You'll need nothing else for your heart if you go follow Yogurt Garrel. Yogurt, we've been looking for ostracods. Well, we found ostracods. We've been looking for tardigrades and other creatures. And we're going to get another additional sample in here. We're going to take out these. we're going to see what else we can find. I do have some moss soaking right now. I'm going to leave that. And see if that'll give us something. And Yogurt, thank you for dropping some of my favorite emotes on Twitch. Also, Yogurt, it turns out the supermodel emote is still available. It's just a 5K bit badge on Ace's stream. He's been monetizing my face, Yogurt Girl. Drop those. Alright. So I'm taking from different parts of the sample now. And see if we get a different population of things. Let's do one more. Okay, let's see if we have any different population there. I know, this is a beautiful one, Debs, right? Carlo is just absolutely crushing it. Yeah, Kith, above my head, we have Carlo the stream scribe, and he does live letter art. And he joins us on Mondays to do some art with us.
Together, we can rule the galaxy.
Ace Gang! Ace! Thank you for the birthday wishes, Ace. Thank you for the resub as well for 17 months. Chat, please go follow Ace Gang Gang. Ace is a legendary streamer extraordinaire. He's the leader of Wacky Wednesday. He also is just all-around beautiful chaos. One of our best of friends. As you can see that by that first badge by his name. He's been here since the dawn of SciAnts. Please go follow Ace Gang Gang. We love you, Ace. Welcome on in, Ace. And guys, the birthday boy is in the house. Oh, rotifer. That's the word that I was looking for. That's right. Not a Daphne, a rotifer. Yes. It does look like a rotifer. Thank you, Cliff. Even when I said it, it didn't feel right. But I was like, oh, what is it? Yeah, so right there it is. And you can see it's grasping on the top ends of the substrates. It looks so it might have been an earlier stage one, Rastigo Mike. This one's just much more directed in its movement. It's not so like weird in terms of its movement on that one, like undirected. Yeah, Saphir's mom, Cliff is a legend. Cliff Alistair McLean. He's even got his fancy Cliff command. Which, by the way, Cliff, I wanted to add something to that. And I keep forgetting to, but I will add it. Jimmy!
Bum, bum, bum. Got any grapes?
Hello, Mr. Jimmy B93. Chat, if you're not checking out Jimmy B93, the legendary streamer extraordinaire, leader of the concert hall, please go follow Jimmy B93. We love Mr. B here, chat. And you should too. He will soon be having his return stream, actually tomorrow. And soon, he's going to be having his 900 follower cooking stream. Hi, Michael R. Hassler. Hello, Michael. Welcome on in, Michael R. Hassler. Welcome in, good sir. Michael, how are you doing today? Jimmy also had a softball game today. And it was 19-0, I am told. 19-0. And yes, Golganak, Jimmy is the Fall Guys wizard master. Breathtaking extraordinaire. Love you, Jimmy. Jimmy, you ready for the return tomorrow? Michael, we're finding some of these early stage Planarian relations. We also found some rotifers right now. Softball like golf, lower score wins. Depends on what school you play at. Smikes. So some schools, it's like that. Other schools, it's different. You know, it just depends on where you're playing and with who. Taking an extra second just to look and see if we have any tardigrades in here, but again, I picked these from different parts of it. Turns out I may have to help my colleague's spring concert tomorrow, so my return stream will either be much later than planned or postponed until later in the week. That's okay, Jimmy. Jimmy, I just miss you. I just miss you, Jimmy. You know this, Jimmy B. You know this, Mr. B. Jimmy, I can't help it that I miss you, sir. I can't help it. I can't help it. But Chad, seriously, go follow Jimmy B93. The breathtaking Jimmy. Yeah, just this. I looked at a different batch of pond water. So it's the same jar that we've taken from. It's just a different region of the pond water mass, and to try to figure out and get additional creatures. You can see there's a fair bit of activity in here, but still not what we've been gunning for. Thank you, Jimmy. It's been very frustrating, but that's because I was working most of the day. And now it's lovely. Hey! Music girl, you know what to do. You know what to do, music girl. You know what to do. Hi, Peter. Peter, we're looking at a mass of pond water I've taken from different locations of the jar. Done. You didn't nerf the comment. I thought you were gonna nerf the comment, music girl. I'm so. Oh, pinch his butt. Yes, pinch his butt too. But also you can nerf Jimmy's comment saying ooh. Peter, I took it from different regions of the jar now from our first batch, and trying to look at different parts of the pond water sample to see if there's any additional creatures in here for differences. Never drink pond water? Yeah. Hencha, Mexico, you formally convey your peasants? Welcome on in. No, music girl also pinched Jimmy's booty from us. But on top of that, if you so choose, from different parts of the pond. So Saphir's mom, I try to take at least 2 different samples. One from a consistent point where every week we take from the exact same spot and just see how the flora change over time. Because we can look from different parts of the different seasons, right? It can be early, late spring all the way to late fall that we look at these different ones. And then a different part of the lake too that I just think by eye, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of interesting because there's additional growth there that we haven't seen before. What kind of ice cream are you having, Jimmy? That's Peter. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to spread out this sample a little bit more. On the off chance that there's something in here. Twist, I have vanilla. Music girl. That sounds lovely. Lita is all about the twist as well. They have this music girl.
Ain't the science guy. Ain't the science guy.
SciAnts rules.
Ain't the science guy.
SciAnts is a partner on Twitch. With lovely wife Lita.
Ain't the science guy.
Thank you, Big Gaming. Guys, make sure to check out Big Gaming, legendary game dev extraordinaire and the single best father ever. Please go follow Big Gaming. Thank you, Skip! Chat, it sounds like that Carlo the Stream Scribe will be taking a request from chat, but in the form of a raffle. So, if you would like to have a letter art request done, type into the chat !raffle, And you can have done. Who does all the songs? Pootrick. That is Thug Shells. The one that you just saw though was Celestial Bean Art, but all the other ones like the theme song and the raid song is Thug Shells. So, for example, like this one.
SciAnts. We had experimental science. We're curious, not judgmental. Always good vibes when science on screen. Time to learn life with science stream.
That is the lovely Thug Shells. We'll give Thuggy a shout out in a moment. And the other one that you just saw was Celestial Bean Art. Excellent chat. We're getting the raffles in. When Carlo tells me it is time to pull the name out of the hat, that is when I will pull the raffle. That is when I will pull the raffle, Carlo. When you tell me go, Carlo. When you tell me go. He'll be doing a beautiful piece of hand digital letter art for you. Yeah. Hello, Thindall. How you doing, Thindall? Thindall, you still playing Diablo? You're up late, Thindall. Are you playing Diablo, Thindall? Pull the name now. All right. In 3. Thank you, Thindall. 3, 2, 1. Moonrise Rabbit has won. Carlo. Moonrise Rabbit has won. National Day, like Independence Day. Excellent. Well, happy Independence Day. Thindall, I'm glad you get. I assume you get to stay at home. Hopefully, possibly, potentially. Pootrick, that is the musician is Thug Shells. We just gave her that shout out for you right now. She's a freestyle rapper and DJ. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Go check out Thuggy. So Carlo, we have a request from Moonrise if they can have her dog's name Kiki in there. And art will happen upon return. Alright, Moonrise, Carlo will be back in just a few moments. Take a little break, get some coffee, use the restroom, maybe kiss his wife on the head, maybe even pet Dude the puppy. And then he will return and do some beautiful art.
We rockin' chemistry, we here living our dreams. Chemistry, cause we rockin' out with science streams. Science, but we ain't bugging, we thuggin'. I know that we up here making sure that the beat is struggling.
Thank you, Big Gamey. Bostily. Big Gamey. Big Gamey with that exercise emote. Bit, you just like to... You just like to throw me for a loop, Big Gamey. And it's okay, Big Gamey. It's okay. Adventure of a day taking her to the vet Sunday. She's fine, but still recovering. Moonrise, you and also we had Neuralicia. Also had to do a fair bunch with with their puppers. It's been not a good time for our animal keeping friendos, unfortunately. Yeah. But hopefully we'll stop having issues and everyone's dog will be better and nothing bad will happen anymore. I can wish, chat. What are we looking at, Thindall? We've got some pond water that we're looking at under the scope, and we had a bunch of relatives of Planarians in here. In this particular well, you can see one of them is swimming around up top. I cannot smike. I'm a fake doctor. Here we go, Thindall. There's one up top. No, it's not basement water. The basement is mostly dry now. We're just waiting for the repair, like the insurance to approve it and then get it fixed, because I'm going a little stir crazy with that downstairs. Thindall, happy to hear when the insurance approves. That's when we'll be happy, Thindall. Yeah, there we have another one. So Thindall, if you split these, you'd be able to they would regenerate. They're similar to our Planarian friends. To tickle them, Thindall, that is actually a form of torture. And I will not condone that. But what I will condone, folks, is if everyone goes and follows our friend Thindall. That I will 100% condone, because Thindall is amazing. And we love Thindall here. Even though he's threatening to tickle people. Web dev extraordinaire, and he also plays Diablo. Yeah, Thindall, it looks like we just keep getting moved these. Head grows, and yes, Thindall, yes. They do regenerate in that direction. They do, you can see on this one, Thindall, there's another one in here. They have these little internal lumps. And those internal lumps are easier split points for the animal. As they're zipping around. So those internal split points are, again, better break point. They're done for now, Thindall. I'll see when it actually ends up being done. Yeah, no cute eye spots. No eye spots on these. They're hypothesized to be a more ancestral form of Planarian. So eventually, in evolutionary time, there's newer ones that form, and then they do have eye spots. You beat the Diablo 4 campaign yesterday morning. Nice, Rastigo. How big? There's a huge variance, Thindall. Even the samples that we've been looking at, there's been everything from, I'd say, if I'm giving a good estimate, 4 millimeters all the way to over a centimeter.
Together, we can rule the galaxy.
AKA the lovely Derek Devon. Thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. Team Dare or Team Dev chat. If you're not checking out the legendary, the breathtaking, the amazing Moko Made, they are our stream team leaders. They are some of our best friendos.
Who let the ants out?
Please go give them a follow.
Let's go!
Thank y'all so much for the resub. 13 months! Y'all, we've been together for a while. Please go follow Derek and Devin of Moko Made. One of the best people I've ever had the pleasure of, not necessarily meeting IRL, but meeting digitally. And we're also on their stream team because they accidentally let us in. They didn't hold to their criteria of letting talented people in. They let us in for some reason. There they are.
It's time to say something nice about yourself.
Down in the middle is the lovely Devin. As you can see, there is Derek, and there's Captain Moko. They are supermodels. They are on billboards across the city of Philadelphia, if not the entire state of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Uber talented, wonderful people, huge advocates for the makers and crafters community. Please go follow them. They are on their ambassador push as well as we are. And they are huge advocates for the makers and crafters and artists on this platform. I have never seen anyone do as much for a community as the Mokos have done. And we would not be here without them today, and we are grateful to them every single day for just being themselves. And please go drop them a follow. That website link is for their merch store as well. And you can actually see this beautiful picture of them on their sub. Even better, Saphira's mom. Go subscribe to them as well if you can. They are full-time content creators, makers and crafters, artisans, artists, and the lovely Devin is pregnant. This is her husband right here. The team, though, of the stream is Derek and Devin, the brother-sister duo. Again, love the heck out of them. Gotcha. Saphira's mom, don't worry. We'll get you a gift sub over there. It's fine. Once you get into the group, you're like, well, no, you know what? I can't go anywhere. I can't ever go anywhere ever again. And it's noon to about 6:30 Eastern Standard every day, Monday through Friday. Please go drop that follow. Y'all, we are looking underneath the microscope. We do have these Planarians here tonight. Here we go. This one, what? There we go. We have some feeding behavior of this one too. We're looking at some pond water samples. We're also going to be doing some amber samples in a little bit. And we might have someone join us tonight as a guest, and we might not. Derek! Either one. Mokame, thank you for the 300 bitties. Y'all very much for the biddies.
I've always wanted to say that.
Sun is about to rise. No, it's a very early sunrise you have. Jimmy! Jimmy, thank you for the 100 biddies, Jimmy B. Jimmy, thank you for the 100 biddies, Mr. B. Chat, let us continue looking. I was hoping that we'd find a tardigrade in here, but... Oh, we do have a nematode if Ariella is still here. There is our nematode. Oh, yeah. No, it's, yeah, Ariella, it's us being silly. And Ariella, the reason Lito was studying Planarians was there is this ability that they have to regenerate their brains, but in addition to regenerating their brains, they also regenerate past memories. So if you cut one in half, the tail component that regrows a new brain and a new head maintains the memories of the one that it was split from. And so it's a great model to study that memory are molecules. And so that's what Lito is utilizing to study. It is astronomy show. It's incredible. Do you want to watch a quick video on it? We have a very good video on it if y'all would like to learn more about it.
Thanks to curiosity.
Cool. All right, let's do it. Let's go ahead and hide this. All right, here we go.
Stream for supporting this episode. Go to curiositystream.com/scishow to learn more. The Planarian is a saltwater and freshwater flatworm known primarily for its regenerative abilities. Cut off their tail and they'll grow it back. Cut them in half and they'll become 2 whole flatworms, even though they have a distinctive head region with a brain in it.
There's a question from...
What's really amazing is that even after losing its brain, a Planarian can remember things from before it was beheaded. Planarians are pretty simple animals, but they do have brains that control things like sensory reception. And this brain is considered a true brain, not just a bundle of neurons. It has 2 lobes, it controls nervous function throughout the body, and it has specialized regions. This means their brains probably look a lot how ours once did. And this makes them a great analog for studying brain evolution, as well as asking fundamental questions about things like memory. It's hard to know what memories a Planarian has, of course, but you can train them to perform new, unnatural behaviors, and then see if they retain that memory under different conditions. Planarians have simple needs. They like raw meat, and they dislike light and change, which... I get it. They're willing to get over their light aversion for a tasty meal, but if other things change at the same time, they just kind of freak out. Like if you take them out of petri dishes with smooth glass and put them into textured petri dishes, they are too weirded out at first to go for a piece of liver in the middle with a bright light shining on it. But if you put the flatworms in textured dishes for a while beforehand, you can passively train them to be familiar with that environment. Then when you add the spotlight and liver, they go for it quickly, providing researchers with enough evidence of successful training.
So it's the standard associative memory. They associate a texture with a food reward, and then they overcome their fear of light because of it. And then when you split them, the next generation is still trained to have those behaviors. Analog Planarian, now I want to say a digital Planarian. So Zen, it depends on the memory assay that you perform, but there are assays where it's not so binary, where it's either yes, no, you remember, but there's like different amounts of learning on that front, like how well they've learned. Like actually, it's been done before, Zen, measuring the amount that they've learned on a not a binary system, but it seems like after each subsequent generation, the ones that do remember, it's not that they remember the same amount as the original Planarian. There is some fading that goes along with it. So that memory fade is something to consider, and then it becomes more digital rather than analog. The texture dishes, yeah, we actually, Ariella, we 3D printed our texture dishes, which is really cool. I'm going to continue playing, and then I'm going to turn off this fan over here.
When scientists have done this training regimen, they found planarians can retain such memories for at least 14 days. That raises the question, of course, what happens when you cut off their heads? We know that within a week, the flatworms grow new, usable heads they can eat with and everything, and they can make it that long without eating, so they're fine. But presumably, if you have a brain, that's where your memories are. So since the 1950s, scientists have been trying to figure out what happens when the flatworms lose and then regrow their brains. And most strangely, they seem to remember previous training. In a 2013 study, for example, the trained flatworms approached the food faster, even though their training happened with their former heads. The difference between trained and untrained planarians was not as big as it was pre-decapitation. So the researchers concluded.
So this is the part of the data's in. So it's much more of that digital spectrum again. It's not yes or no, do you remember or not. It's different tiers of memories, how well you remember. And they're just different amounts in that front. Memory storage must... Yeah, and Golganak that also begs the question, do we also have any memory that's stored like that? Right? Are some of our memories also stored as molecules rather just than sitting in a neuron? And what does that mean for memory acquisition, and what does it mean for long-term behavior in us humans? A mazed petri dish, not just a textured. So Saphir, you can do that as well. It's just a little bit harder to do that, only because of the organism itself, of what kind of how they're swimming, and it's just the amount of space that they can swim. So it's just more simple to do it on a dish with two different components, but you can do it in a Y maze as well. So, but that's the most maziness that you can do on Saphir. So it's just like the central tube that you start them in, and then it bifurcates and makes a Y. That we do a lot of that with fruit flies, mosquitoes, and other insect model organisms. Less so in the planarians, friends. And again, it's just their motility of how easily they can move at different regions, and they sometimes get stuck in weird places. So to minimize those, it's just easier to do it that way. Moonrise Rabbit, your piece is looking really cool, by the way.
Concluded that this memory retention isn't quite 100%. But still, it's bizarre that they could remember the training at all. As for how they retain those memories, well, we don't really know. One intriguing idea is that memories of certain habitual behaviors are partially transferred to neural tissue outside the brain. So somehow there are memories stored in other neurons in the body, which is just so completely against everything we thought we understood about memories. I mean, we talk about muscle memory, but even that is thought to occur in the parts of the brain that control how you move your extremities, not in those extremities themselves. A lot more research is needed to fully understand this phenomenon, and to figure out if it's unique to planarians or true of all brainy creatures. Because if human memories also exist outside of our brains in some way, understanding how could lead to better treatments for certain brain injuries, memory loss, or dementias. And that would be some pretty awesome stuff to learn from a headless flatworm.
So that's why planarians are another reason it's important to study. Psych Beth, first time chatter, welcome on in. How you doing today? Welcome on in. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Hopefully you're having a lovely and amazing day today. We're doing some microscopy, and we were talking about flatworms and planarians, and we were looking and seeing what's in the pond water. Memories are fascinating. I wish I could erase a few. So, when there are ones that are labs that are trying to study that. Came from Mr. Beats. Thank you so much, Sickabeth, for coming on in. We love Mr. Beats here. Welcome on in. Almost like an octopus, they have also found neurons in their tentacles. Yeah, but Saphir's mom, these aren't neurons. These seem like they're small molecules that are just floating around. And we don't really know where they're localized either. That's one of the things that Lito was trying to answer, was what are these small molecules? It's actually hypothesized to think that these small molecules, they are undetectable by common sequencing methodologies, and you need to have a particular sequencer to be able to identify them. Fortuitous Traveler, this is a planarian right here. So that's what it looks like. There are those googly eyes that Ariella was talking about earlier. Whoop. Come on here, Drew. Wow. Hi. We have a guest, chat. We have a guest. So chat, that means anyone who predicted that there is going to be a baby Alona sighting tonight, congratulations, you have won some channel points. Yes, baby Alona is in his house. Hey, little one. Hi. Hi. What were you up to? Were you having fun? Possibly were you having fun? She may have been having fun. She may have been having fun. We hung out most of today, right? Had a good time? She liked her walk, I think. We very much enjoy our walks together. You want to help me look for some pond water? She's going to help me look for some... We're going to look at some pond water, chat. We're going to find some more creatures. Nephew turns 1 on the 15th. Congratulations, Saphira's mom. That's awesome. Little one just turned 4 months old. There's our little nematode friend again. So that's different from the Planarian. Nematodes, again, they have all their cell fate mapped out. So when they're developing, it is known every single cell, how many times it divides, and what cells those cells end up becoming. Which is amazing that something like that could actually exist. But it's because every single nematode studied in lab originated from a single nematode in the wild. And so everyone knows what wild type are. Everyone knows what is normal, what isn't, and how Ariella says all of them had 959 cells precisely because they're all derived from this one genetic originator, which is quite remarkable. And that's why it's known, mapped out. And so if you have a mutant, it's because if it has the wrong number of cells, you have a mutant. And it's very easy to figure out. What do you think, little one? Is that cool? Isn't she cutie patootie? I should get her chair and put her in the chair next to me and she can co-host. I think that might be actually hilarious. Do you want to try that, little one? Should we get her chair? Should we get her chair, chat? Let's get her chair, folks. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get her